Hello and welcome back to LJTMTG, your one-stop shop for anything related. We've got a fun video for you today, and that might be the most egregious intro I've ever done just for a meme. So if anyone who can translate Morse code could tell me if I translated the word blink correctly, let me know down in the comments. We do have a fun video for you today, though. Liam, Jared, and I joined a asynchronous league on the Discord for Magic Online, and today I'm going to be showing you two of those matches that I played. I initially was going to do each match in its own separate video, but I feel like doing it in one video will be a little bit better. That means that the matches do have the sort of traditional ending where I talk about my feelings on the deck, etc. But in the description, I'll make sure that I have timestamps for those moments. So if you get to the end of, say, match one and you don't want to listen to me talk about that match, you can skip right ahead to match two. So we're playing I'm playing Esper Blink, and it's an open deck list format, so I actually know what my two opponents are playing, and I should mention this in the videos, but if I don't, I'm playing two Discord users. One of them is named Zoe, and they're playing a green-red splashing white sort of like fast aggro deck. I think they call it Night Monsters. And then my other opponent, which is Pie Best Pie in the Discord, they were playing Neoform Affinity, I think is what they were calling it, but it's like sort of a mixture of Affinity aggro with like a Neoform package. So the matches were really interesting. I really appreciate our opponents being chill with us recording. I know that playing in front of the camera can be a little daunting, but we really do appreciate it, and I felt like the games were really fun, so I'm looking forward to doing something like this league more in the future. But without further ado, let's get to the deck tech. Today I've brought Esper Blink for all of you, and this is an Esper deck playing essentially just the best ETB creatures that you can find in those colors. The reason I chose to play Esper over Bant is because I wanted to try a Blink deck that theoretically should have a better combo matchup with things like Acquisitions Expert, Orcish Bowmasters, Mesmeric Fiend, Skullcap Snail, Tide Hollow Sculler. Essentially the cards that you get from black that really help to potentially shore up your combo matchup. Rounding that off with, I'm playing Guide of Souls and Ocelot Pride, and this is an idea I got from the recent Pro Tour. There was a blue-white deck piloted by I can't remember what the name of the team was, but it's Gabriel Nassif's team, and they were playing Starfield Shepherd, which is this 5-mana 3/2 angel, but has Warp for 2 that finds a plains or a creature with mana value 1 or less. And I thought to myself, like, well, if I can search for these creatures with Starfield Shepherd, Recruiter of the Guard, etc., then maybe it's worth playing the Guide Pride combo. I mean, Guide is something that I already probably get a lot of value out of because I am blinking creatures. I'm just playing a lot of creatures naturally, so turn 1 Guide is probably still pretty reasonable, especially the life gain is a little more relevant in this deck than some other decks because blocking is a little harder with this list. You really want to keep your creatures around for your blink effects, so yeah, we're playing Guide of Souls, Ocelot Pride, Mockingbird, and Tameo as targets for the Starfield Shepherd. And I'm really excited to see if they work out. A couple of cool additions: Dowerport Mage, 2 mana, draw a card whenever a creature leaves the battlefield without dying, and then you can pay 2 mana to return a creature to your hand. So, basically combos with the entire deck. I don't know if Dowerport Mage is worth it, but I definitely want to try it out. Philia, Watcher for Tomorrow, just a bunch of good ETBs. I'm playing Sin Collector and Gastal Raider as concessions to thinking that the combo matchup of this deck isn't particularly great. I really do like these cards if you know that you're going to be facing a decent amount of combo. I think there's a lot of like they provide a lot to the archetype in ways that Bant Blink doesn't really have access to this type of stuff. Bogger Trawler is a really cool card that you get to play mostly for free. Just some mainline graveyard hate. Same with Lauren of the Third Path. Like, we definitely want to include at least one Reclamation Sage variant. Opposition Agent, good against combo. Grief, good against combo. I do think you sacrifice a decent amount for this deck when it comes to your mid-range matchups. Green gets to play gets to play an extra Wall of Blossoms. They get to play a bunch of other creatures that are just a little bit bigger after their ETBs than the Esper creatures. So, yeah, and then Riddler card's great. Couple of discard spells. The Reanimate is our first point. A couple of flicker effects. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 flicker effects. So I think that is pretty reasonable. I don't know if I'd want to be on more than 9 or 10. It's quite a large percentage of your deck. Then just a couple of the best removal spells: Fatal Push, Path to Exile, Swords to Plowshares. Consigned to Memory is something I'm really interested in trying out. It combos with a lot of different cards in your deck, but also just counters colorless spells and your opponent's relevant triggered abilities. So the combo of Consigned to Memory with Hide on the Ceiling is something that I was pretty interested in as well. If you hide, as far as I'm aware, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm sure people will, if you hide on the ceiling your opponent's board, and you can consign the return trigger, and that will basically Plague Wind your opponent. It's pretty cute, but I think Consign has enough spaces where it operates on pretty reasonable margins regardless, that I think getting extra random value, like winning the game on the spot from being able to hide all of your opponent's creatures, is something that I'm interested in. Also, in a pinch, it works with things like Philia, the Philia return trigger, or Otherworldly Journey. You can also Consign to Memory your own elementals, and you can consign to pay for ward as well. So if your opponent plays a creature with a significant ward cost, you can consign that ward cost to pay a little bit of a reduced rate on your ward, if you will. Then I'm playing Triple Mox as my points, plus the Reanimate, Touch the Spirit Realm, just another good flicker effect, and then the rest of it's just lands. So let's get to the games, and I hope you enjoy them. Okay, for the first time on this channel, I am sending a challenge to a different player. Vintage Clock looks good. Deck. All right. We are fighting some user Zoe from the Discord. I know what they're playing. I know that they're playing Naya monsters. It's basically Gruul splashing white. So I can look at my hands with that in consideration. This exile is another target creature, so it doesn't actually let me Overlord early. I'm definitely keeping this hand. I just have to figure out whether or not I want to play Charming Prince on one, or if I just want to Inquisition Zoe. I think Charming Prince on one is okay, and then I can use my mana a little bit more efficiently. I'm going to keep regardless. Overlord seems pretty reasonable in this matchup. So like a nice turn 3 Overlord. I mean, barring that I draw the white mana. Seems like it could be pretty reasonable. I am going to get the Scry off the Charming Prince. Also, having a flicker effect in hand is nice. It means that if I find like a really good ETB, then I can make setup plays for it. So let's Charming Prince. Let's choose the Scry 2. Eerie Interlude says creatures, so I'm going to put it on the bottom. I think I'm okay to keep this Windswept Heath on top. I do want the second white source. It's another blue source in case my Mox gets destroyed. Lets me cast Overlord on turn 3. Next turn I'm going to Inquisition, and I can hold up Cloud Shift with the Windswept Heath on the Charming Prince if I feel like I need it for some reason. I think I'm just gonna F6 here. Even if I had a Solitude, it's pretty unlikely that I would want to cast it on this turn, so I don't really think I'm giving away that much information. Tinderwall. So this could stack to make 2 red. Good to know. Windswept Heath also lets me get a Plains, so I'm insulated against Blood Moon. Like, let's say I Inquisition. If there's a Blood Moon, I don't necessarily have to take it if I don't want to. I mean, I am going to take it because the Chain Lightning is so weak in comparison to the rest of the hand that I might as well just take the Magus. I mean, there's no reason to attack, because if Zoe draws Ragavan off the top, then they could dash it. There's also a bunch of other Riot creatures in this deck, so I think there's, like, sometimes these attacks are free, but I don't actually think this one is. There is consideration for what this fetch is going to do. Like, I might get Meticulous Archive. I could also theoretically see just getting Plains being better to insulate myself from, like, further potential Blood Moons. I think I'm going to get Meticulous Archive so that I can try and find something that goes well with this Cloud Shift after I play the turn 3 Overlord. Escus Chariot, yeah. Card is good. Sack your Tinderwall, that makes sense. So Zoe has Chain Lightning plus Unknown in hand. The nice thing about playing this Overlord is I will get to double block the Chariot if I want to. And then hopefully I find something off of this Meticulous Archive that's relevant enough to be able to Cloud Shift. Let's archive. Marsh Flats are going to put into the graveyard here. Okay, let's untap. Overlord of the Balemurk is pretty interesting. I'm going to lead with the Overlord of the Mistmoors. Because if I draw 5th land, I am just going to play Overlord of the Balemurk, and then I can like start Cloud Shifting it and get really far ahead in cards. One thing I am noting, like in terms of my position in this game, is that like I have all of the inevitability, so I want the game to go in. Like I want us to slog back and forth. Like I do want Zoe to attack with this Escus Chariot, so I can just like trade my flyers off, then play an Overlord, get some creature back. I mean, I might not trade my flyers off. I might trade off Charming Prince Insect token so I can get something back with Overlord if I whiff. Okay, Bristly Bill. So if they drew a land, this is actually pretty good for them. Because they get to force me to trade with all 3 of my creatures on the Escus Chariot. So the question is, do I want to trade for a cat token here? I know that they have Chain Lightning. I definitely want the Charming Prince in the graveyard just in case I miss off of my Overlord of the Balemurk, as well as if I don't draw a land, I can play Overlord, get back Charming Prince, and then cast Charming Prince. So I think I'm going to do this. The question is, do I want to trade with a cat token? I think I have the inevitability, so I think I'm happy to trade with the cat token. I'm not going to be particularly aggressive right now. This lets me get value out of the 2/1 flying before they potentially like are able to Chain Lightning it. I think I'm happy to just trade a bunch of material here and just lean on, like, I'm going to draw something that this Cloud Shift goes well with, or I'm going to Overlord into something that this Cloud Shift goes well with, or I'm going to draw 5th land so I can play this Overlord. But this is a pretty powerful looking start from Zoe. Okay, this is pretty interesting. So I drew Starfield Shepherd. So I have a couple lines. I can Starfield Shepherd for Ocelot Pride, and then I can Cloud Shift the Starfield Shepherd to get Guide of Souls, and then the next turn I can play Guide Pride. I actually think that might be a little too slow here. I don't know if that really like has the juice that you would need for this type of game. I can get Mockingbird. I can also get Tameo. So Mockingbird, there's like nothing that I'm really that interested in Mockingbirding right now. I could also Starfield Shepherd and not Cloud Shift. But I think that's a little bit worse. I think I'm going to play Overlord of the Bailmerk here. Let's just see what we hit off of the mill, and we can kind of go from there. Yes, I do want to return something. Okay, so I hit a Solitude, which is actually insane, because now I get to Solitude and Cloud Shift my Solitude after Zoe plays potential land to uptick creatures. I get to block with the Solitude if I want it, just with Overlords ticking down. I think I'm going to take it. That means I don't get to use the Starfield Shepherd, but I think that's okay with 2 Overlords ticking down. I really just want to like get as much value as I can. There is some consideration to solituding right now, because if I solitude right now, I guaranteed get rid of 2 creatures. If Zoe drew like an instant speed removal spell, the problem with solituding right now is that it does just walk into the chain lightning. So like if I solitude and cloud shift the solitude right now, I kill 2 creatures, but then it's definitely getting chain lightninged, and I'm getting attacked for at least 2. I think I do want to try and trade the solitude for one of the creatures on board, so I'm gonna risk Zoe having drawn like a piece of removal. I think that's fine, because like if they draw a haste creature or if they draw lands, they're like really incentivized to play them. And this is also better against haste creatures like Ragavan. Like now I get to kill both Ragavan and Bristly Bill and decide if I want to block a cat token, which I most likely am going to. Cast by exiling the Starfield Shepherd. I need to make sure I stack these triggers right. It doesn't really matter, I guess, because I can just respond, but I want the evoke on the stack first so that I get to resolve this first. Okay, so let's exile the Ragavan, then I'll cloud shift my Solitude. Now I'm gonna get rid of the Bristly Bill. And I think it's worth it to trade the Solitude for a cat token. Go up to 22. Like my Overlord of the Mistmoors is coming off the turn after this. Zoe doesn't have any pressure on board, low on land count. Chain Lightning in hand is fine, but I don't think I want to trade the Chain Lightning for the Solitude. Like I just want to take away Zoe's consistent damage. Yeah, and they just conceded. I think that makes sense from their perspective. Like the Overlords were coming eventually. That Solitude was a great get from the Overlord of the Bailmerk, though. And I think that's like that interaction is kind of why I've been really interested in Blink decks and Lander. But the problem I had with I need to consider if I'm going to keep this hand or not. It's pretty interesting. So the reason I've been looking at Blink decks is because I think that those types of interactions are really hard to deal with in Lander. Subtlety buys me time. Inquisition into Recruiter of the Guard gets me whatever's best at the moment. I can pitch Spectral Restitching or Tameo based on what I draw. I think this hand is keepable. It's really close. If I didn't have the Subtlety, I think you have to mulligan this hand. Like if the Subtlety was any other blue card, I think you just have to get rid of it because you like don't have your sources. But I do have black plus white. And if I draw third land that isn't blue, I still get to Recruiter the Guard into whatever is best at the time. I also think Zoe's deck is pretty aggressive, so having a Subtlety to stop like the creature that they Tinderwall out, for example, I think is an interaction that is better in this matchup than it might be in other matchups. And unfortunately, Zoe mulled to 5, so that's not ideal. Drawing a Solitude was pretty reasonable. I think we're just taking the Bristly Bill here, and actually, is Bill even that good here? Like they play Bill as a 2/2. I think I'm gonna take it. Just keeping them off of creatures in general gives me a little more time to to draw out of my mana situation here. Birds of Paradise is fine. So I'm planning on like subtletying the next creature that they play. I could also Solitude this Birds of Paradise, but I don't actually think that's really that good here. I think I kind of want this Recruiter with Guard to stick around here to get me some value. Quantum Riddler. Is the Riddler good enough right now? Next turn, I untap, play land, play Recruiter the Guard. I don't think I want the Riddler here. I think I actually want fourth land because I kind of want to get to Palace Jailer. Like if I kill or counter Zoe's next two threats and play a Palace Jailer, I think I'm in pretty solid shape here. We'll get rid of the Spectral Restitching, I think. I just don't think it's really that needed. Although I could leverage it with Solitude and Recruiter the Guard post. Actually, yeah, this Tameo sucks. Let's get the Tameo out of here. Just check chat to make sure I didn't miss like a good luck, have fun. Okay, so let's see if Zoe puts Surak on the top or bottom. Top of their library. Okay, good to know. So they've got Death Greeter, Surak, Unknown, and they're going to have Surak next turn. That's part of their hand. Glassblow Mimic's okay here. I can like mimic my Recruiter of the Guard if I want to. I'm just going to play Recruiter here. Since I didn't draw land, I'm going to probably grab some sort of 3-drop. Maybe Skyclave Apparition. I don't really know though. I guess we'll see. We'll see what's good. So many options. So wait, if they play Surak again and I Bowmasters, I deck them unless they have to have like something to kill my Bowmasters, which they could. Wait, no, they don't have a third land. So if they play Surak and I Bowmasters them, do they have any outs? I'm looking at their deck list currently, and I don't think I see any outs. But I'm not entirely sure how this works. They could have sandbagged a land potentially, but I don't think so. I don't think they would do that if that was the case. Like maybe they're supposed to because it doesn't really matter that much, but okay, I think I'm actually, yeah, if I get Bowmasters, they can't play Surak, right? Like they have to play Death Greeters, and then I can just kill the Death Greeters. Put a 1/1 counter on target creature. Oh, it's a target creature. Okay, getting Bowmasters seems like not ideal because I don't. Well, they can never play Surak, and then I can't trade with Death Greeters. If I Soul Herder, I could untap and Soul Herder them. Mesmeric Fiend is kind of fake. Jailer, Skullcap, Snail, Skyclave. Soul Herder is slow, but lets me continue to get creatures. So I think I'm actually going to take the Soul Herder here. Especially since I have the Solitude. If I can Soul Herder Recruiter, then get Solitude active and just keep going, I think that's going to be better. Okay, they don't have Surak anymore. So, oh, you know what? Getting Soul Herder is actually good because now I can Soul Herder and get Bowmasters on not this end step, but the next end step, like post getting a white card to make sure I don't die to some random spell. Like now I play this Tarn. I'm gonna Soul Herder the Recruiter of the Guard. Yeah. Then I always yield to this Grow trigger. Then I'm gonna search. Yes. So now I'm just gonna get a good white card, maybe Jailer. I think that's fine. If they go for a big play, I can Solitude their I can Solitude their board like the following turn. I just have consistent card advantage here. Like, even if I Solitude this Jailer away to get rid of the Serac, like, which I'm not going to, I'm just going to take 4 here. Although now they could have a removal spell up. Okay, now they can't. Now I just win, I think. Because I get Bowmasters on my end stuff, and then I'm going to Bowmasters them. But I'm going to fetch for a land first. I guess if things go awry, I actually kind of want the island, just in case. So maybe I shouldn't have fetched there. It's whatever. I'm going to play this Glass Pool Mimic tapped. I think I just kind of want access to the mana. Like, I might want it for restitching. Okay, so I think this works. I think this is a win. Yeah. Get Orcish Bowmasters. Then I Bowmasters the Serac, and I think that's GG. Okay, well, unfortunately, our opponent mulligan to 5. Not exactly where you want to be, but a pretty interesting showcase of this deck nonetheless. I think this deck has a lot of legs. I think the Blink space in general has a lot of legs in Lander. I think the issue is, like, how do you deal with combo? And so, like, Bant Blink, for example, you get the best of the best. You're getting every, like, 2-mana ETB draw a card. You're getting Seeker Walk, as well as, like, Eternal Witnesses and stuff that are obviously excellent with the flicker effects. You know, you're getting to take multiple turns all of the time. Or not all the time, but like a lot of the time you get Oko and Uro, you know, etc. But Esper, you really do get like the discard spells, which were pretty relevant in those games. At least the Inquisition to get rid of the Blood Moon, like seemingly pretty relevant. But you also get a plethora of potential discard creatures. So in this list, I'm playing Sin Collector and Gastal Raider, and that's mostly for the combo matchups. I feel like you really need help in those matchups, especially if you're playing something like, say, Bant Blink. So that's why I'm trying Esper this time around. And thanks to my opponent, Zoe, for agreeing to be filmed while playing Magic. I know that it's not necessarily the easiest thing to do, and it can be like a little nervy, etc. And that might not be the case for Zoe. I don't actually know, but I just appreciate them agreeing to play it out and let me record. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like the content that we're bringing to the table, feel free to like and subscribe it. It helps out the channel, and it hopefully keeps you updated on when we're releasing new videos. And then I'd also be really interested in hearing people's opinions on Blink and the format in general. What are the cards that I might be missing that you think I should be playing? Wow, with Blink, it's cool in Canlander because, like, there's like, you start building your deck and there's like a bunch of bangers. You know, you just like know you're playing Bowmasters, and you know you're playing Quantum Riddler, and you know you're playing Ephemerate, etc. But like you reach a point where it's like, do I want to play the third Ravenous Rats? I don't actually know. And so if you have ideas about Blink, Esper, or Bant, or any type in general, I'd love to hear them down in the comments below as I continue to workshop this archetype. But as always, thanks for watching. Peace. Okay, so I'm challenging my opponent. It's um it's possible I should have waited to challenge them until they gave me the okay go, but hopefully this works. I will play. Okay. I mean, this hand is great. The biggest question is whether or not I play Tamiya on turn 1 or Goddess Souls on turn 1, but I'm gonna keep regardless. Even though my opponent is doing a bunch of unfair stuff, like I don't really think you can mulligan hands like this in Canadian Highlander, unless you know you're facing against like full tilt combo. But my opponent is playing some amount of creatures, and it looks like they're trying to win with combat damage a lot of the time. So I think this hand does a lot of what you're looking to do. Yeah, the difference between Tamiyo and Guide of Souls is tempting because getting Guide down like earlier means that on turn 3, or turn 4, you get to attack with excuse me, you get to attack with a flyer. Oh no, my opponent mulligan to 4. I think I'm just gonna play Tamiyo. My opponent mulligan to 4, so it's possible that playing Guide of Souls is better because you want to like start applying more pressure, but I think Tamiyo is fine. Flip Tamiyo turn 4 potentially. We'll see. Helpful Hunter and Wall of Omens. Interesting. Well, let's get this Tamiyo clue, and then I'll figure out what I want to do. I could play Guide of Souls and just fetch for a Surveil land, but I think I want to get deeper into my deck. I think I'm going to play Helpful Hunter over Wall of Omens. Actually, no. Let's play the Wall of Omens. Oh, Consign to Memory is a good draw. It means we get to leave up, next turn we get to play one of our cards and leave up Consign if we feel like it. Urza Saga, okay. Yep. This is sort of why I played the Wall of Omens. Oh, Ornithopter. That way I could block whatever came out for my opponent. The Helpful Hunter I thought about playing because I was thinking of potentially attacking, but I could Teferi bounce their Urza Saga, get a clue, and then block with Wall of Omens. I think I'm gonna do that. So let's get in with the Tamiyo first. Get our clue going. Then we're gonna fetch for let's see. Probably a Hollowed Fountain, because I think blue-white is kind of like what I need right now. And I'm not under a significant amount of pressure. And I already have my Tundra in place. Let's get Hollowed Fountain, take 2. We'll play Teferi. We'll just get the bounce on their Urza Saga going. Okay, we drew a Subtlety. That's a pretty reasonable draw. Yeah, they replay Saga. Chromatic Star. Yeah. I guess they could play another artifact and attack with their Automaton. I'm probably just going to block the Wall of Omens, keep my Teferi around. Is keeping my Teferi around worth it? Like, does it matter? I think it does, because, like, in 2 turns, I get to bounce this Patchwork Automaton and just pay the ward. And then this thing is, like, a complete non-starter in terms of being a threat. Like, it'll just never be relevant after that. Like, once I bounce this, my opponent has 1 card in hand currently. Like, I'm pretty sure it's correct to keep this Teferi around with this uptick. Interestingly, if I want to, I can Thoughtseize them on their draw step because of Teferi's uptick. I have to decide if I want to play... So basically my plan currently is to like block this Patchwork Automaton for the next couple of turns and then bounce it with Teferi. So if I play Helpful Hunter, my best draw is like a land that casts Consign, but also I can Thoughtseize them on their upkeep. or their draw step. I could also play Guide of Souls and play Helpful Hunter. Gives me 2 blockers, but I'm going to be Thoughtsseizing away the card in their hand anyways. So, I mean, they could draw like a Swords to Plowshares or something that could mess with my plan. But then they just kill Teferi, and I'm still like, I think I'm still like reasonably far ahead. Like, they're Swords to Plowsharesing a Helpful Hunter at that stage. Oh, I can't do that though. I need to make sure I tap correctly. So let's tap for this Helpful Hunter. Hopefully draw land here. Land would be a really big draw. Okay, Takenuma is not the best land to draw, but it's not the worst either. We do just want land density for cracking clue tokens, etc. So let's respond to their draw step. Enforcer, and they have a looks like they have a Vault of Whispers in hand. So this turn they're just gonna play Vault and start making Saga creatures, which is gonna be pretty effective. The Saga creatures are actually gonna be a pretty big deal. Like, they're gonna be pretty annoying. I think I can counter the Saga making or like searching trigger. I actually could have countered this making constructs trigger, and I think I should have considered that more. Because like these constructs are actually going to be kind of an issue. I also could have not bounced Urza Saga with my Teferi and just upticked the turn that I bounced the Saga. Okay, well, drawing Swords to Plowshares was a really big deal there. I'm gonna uptick this Teferi. Okay, so I can play Guide of Souls, play Dowerport Mage, but then I can't hold up Swords to Plowshares. So basically the question is, like, am I going to just hold up Consign plus Swords to Plowshares? I can counter the Artifact Search, and then I can plow the Patchwork Automaton, but then I need to block the construct with my Tameo, and I like don't really want to be doing that. Another option is to just play a creature, like play Dowerport Mage or God of Souls, swords the construct that can attack, chump block the Patchwork Automaton, and then the next turn I can Teferi bounce the other construct. And that, I guess it depends on if I really want to counter the Saga Search or not. I think I'm gonna attack with Tameo. I don't think I'm really gonna want to be blocking with this. Excuse me. Like, do I really even want to flip Tameo though? Like, maybe I actually do want to block. Like, maybe I'm just gonna leave Consign Swords up, block, counter the Search, block the Patchwork Automaton, kill their 0/0, bounce their other 0/0, and then all I have to deal with is Patchwork Automaton this game, but I have a bunch of clue tokens. Like, flipping Tameo is not even really that good here, right? I could block and flip it and just let my Teferi die. I don't have enough mana, unfortunately, to like swords and flip my Tameo. And there's like, I could have flipped my I could have drawn cards off clue tokens on my turn. Okay, so I can counter this ability. Because I can't counter this because it's an activated ability. But I can counter the Search, and I think I am going to do that. I think countering the Search here is worth it. So I'm consign the Urza Saga Search. I also get to draw a card here, which is like pretty relevant here. I could also Swords to Plowshares the Patchwork Automaton, but it's a slower clock, so I actually want to kill both constructs here. So I'm gonna like plow this construct, block the Patchwork Automaton, bounce the other construct with Teferi, My opponent has 1 card in hand. I've 2 clues in play plus 5 cards, or 4 cards in hand. One of them being a subtlety, so like if my opponent draws another creature, I can delay that. Oh, this is attacking me. Interesting. So I could just plow this Patchwork Automaton and take 8. I think that's still kind of bad, though. I don't think I really want to... I could block the 8, plow the Patchwork Automaton, and then bounce this Construct. But then I still have to deal with like a really big Construct token. So I think I'm just going to go with my same plan, even though the attacks aren't both going at Teferi. I guess I'm going to draw here, because if I draw a... another way to draw a card, I could have like flipped my Tamiyo, taken the 8, but then like Swords to Plowshares, and then I guess I wouldn't be able to rebuy the swords with the Tamiyo. I do have Ophelia now, which like makes me feel pretty good, because if I bounce this Patchwork Automaton after taking 4 the following turn, I'm in a pretty good spot. Yeah, Cracking Chromatic Star, sure. Makes sense. Because they know their construct's probably dying, right? Like, there's no reason I wouldn't just bounce their construct with this Teferi of a creature you control. Okay. So let's just start with bouncing this construct. We know that's happening. It, like, needs to happen. I think I'm going to play Guide of Souls, tap Undercity Sewers, and flash in Philia end step, and then bounce the Patchwork Automaton. Let's play the Undercity here. Reanimate. I can reanimate Tamiyo. And then flip it and get access to Swords to Plowshares next turn. I think that's good. I think I'm going to keep it on top here. Okay, let's play the Guide of Souls. I could play Dowerport Mage and start drawing cards as well. That's a consideration. I'm not blocking with the Guide of Souls, but I think I want to start getting this guide online here. I do need to start winning the game at some point, because otherwise my opponent's just going to keep drawing cards, and eventually I won't be able to deal with them. Or at least, like, it's possible that scenario occurs, so... Plus, if I play Dowerport Mage, then I'm kind of incentivized to Philia one of my own things next turn, which I don't really think is where I want to be. The One Ring, okay. I don't really have a great response to the One Ring here. That's going to be really good this game. I could reset it with Philia and continually reset it. I'm not going to draw a card. I'm just going to let this happen. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I'm just going to take my my beatings from this 5/5 automaton. Yeah, I think it's possible I can signing the Urza Saga trigger to gain the ability to make constructs was where I wanted to be, just because the constructs applied a little too much pressure. But I'm not sure. I'm just gonna take this Patchwork Automaton 5. That's fine. So I guess I really want an answer to the One Ring, but I don't really know what that is. I can just Philia it, but they still get to draw a card and then draw 2 cards the following turn. So like realistically, it doesn't really do that much. So I could reanimate my Tamiyo and then flip it and rebuy Swords to Plowshares. I could also Philia the Patchwork Automaton, just pay 2, then reanimate my Tamiyo, play Dowerport Mage, hold up Subtlety, have double clue tokens so I can flip Tamiyo the next turn. But then I don't get to rebuy swords for another turn after that. But I guess the swords is like a little less necessary if that's the case. I could reanimate Frogmere Enforcer and just like have a 4/4, but that seems kind of bad too. Okay, let's reanimate Tamiyo. I guess this turn I get to make a flyer and start really getting in there because of Guide of Souls. So Let's do this. Oh, I need to set the blue. I think I am just going to pay to shrink this automaton. I could draw an extra card with my Dowerport Mage, but I don't think that really matters. I guess I could flicker my Guide of Souls, and then my Tamio flips on the next turn, then block with my Dowerport Mage, but I think I'm just going to flicker this automaton. Yeah, I do want to pay Ward. I do also want to pay to make this guy a flyer. Make my Philia a flyer. I guess I didn't need to attack with my Guide of Souls. It didn't really matter. I still wanted to attack with my Philia, even though the One Ring trigger was happening. I can also Glasspool Mimic my Dowerport Mage and then bounce my Guide of Souls, drawing 2 cards. Could also just do it to my Tamio. Keep the Guide of Souls in play, get the extra energy trigger. I could also Glasspool my Guide of Souls. Mendicant is power is equal to the number of artifacts you control. I think I'm supposed to subtlety this for tempo. I think the Glasspool Mimic is kind of like whatever. Let's just see where they put it. Show game log. Get this Mendicant. I should, let's yield to these Guide of Souls triggers. I need to see where my opponent puts this Mendicant just to know, like, what they have access to. On top? Okay. Good to know. Master of Ethereum, sure. I can just keep resetting this Patchwork Automaton if I want. I'm just going to take my lumps here. Okay, well, Jailer is really good, obviously. So I can Jailer twice, because I can Jailer and then Philia my Jailer. So let's do that. It won't kill the Patchwork Automaton, but it once the Jailer leaves, I might draw land, and then I can pay for the Patchwork Automaton. I guess I can attack with a Sourport Mage because it doesn't really matter. Do I want to attack with my Tamio as well? I guess I think I'm willing to take more. Well, how many more lumps am I willing to take from this Patchwork Automaton, right? Like, if I don't draw the land, then I might be taking, like, a bunch. Do I need this extra clue off the Tamio? I don't think so. So I actually think I can leave the Tamio behind and just plan to block if I don't draw land. Actually, I should have left the Dowerport Mage behind too, because, like, I don't really want to be blocking with this Jailer. I think blocking with the Jailer is kind of fake. Let's draw a card and we'll return the Jailer here and exile their Ornithopter, I suppose. If I draw a white card here off of the Monarch, then I could have this Solitude ready to go just in case. Oh no, I drew too many cards with Tamio. Uh-oh. Okay, I didn't realize that I was drawing so many cards this turn. So now I'm kind of, like, incentivized to block with Jailer, because otherwise they get their Master of Ethereum back. Although I could just, like, not block with Jailer, let them take the Monarch, depending on how big their creature is, and then Solitude their thing. Like, keep my Jailer around because I have Cloud Shift plus Solitude. Also, next turn I can, like, Solitude Cloud Shift to kill 2 creatures, plus bounce Jailer to kill a 3rd creature. The Ward 2 on the Automaton is pretty relevant here. Also, if they attack Tamiyo, I just, like, am never blocking. Like, there's no way. I just don't care about this Tamiyo even remotely. If they attack me, though, it'll depend. For their attacks to be really good, they need to play things, like, pre-combat. Like, if they attack me for 3 here, I'd probably just take 3, right? So now, now it's interesting. Like, do I block this Tamiyo? I don't think I do. I think I'm just going to let this Tamiyo die. I don't actually think it, like, provides that much value here. They're also taking a bunch off the ring that I have to remember. If I do Solitude them, there is, like, it is, like, definitely not as ideal because they gain a bunch of life. Like, when I Solitude this construct, they're gonna gain a ton of life. Okay, they're just playing Mendicant here. That's fair. I am attacking for a lot, though. How big is this Mendicant? 8? Drawing a non-Solitude removal spell could have been really good there, too. I am gonna draw a card off the Dowerport Mage. I could also... Wait, they're at 18. I could, like, Cloud Shift my Jailer, and then I can just, like, leave up Dowerport Mage, Jailer, Guide of Souls. I could Cloud Shift my Jailer and then Philia my Jailer to get rid of the Construct token, and then leave up Dowerport Mage to bounce Jailer to block Automaton. I think I'm gonna do that. I think that makes the most sense. So let's Cloud Shift the Jailer here. We get rid of this Mendicant. Draw some cards. Yeah. We're also gonna get to jump our Philia again if we want to. Prismatic Ending is not the worst. I guess I don't get to kill the One Ring, but I can just, like, take out the Construct token. I'm gonna take it out with the Jailer, though, so I could Prending the Patchwork Automaton, and then my opponent has no aggression, kill the Karn. I still have Solitude in my hand. I'd have to pay 4 for that, but I think that's fine. So if that's the case, then I get to attack with the Dowerport Mage, because unless they have a haster, I'm not that worried about it. So let's Prismatic Ending this. Yeah. And then I want to pay. Yes. And I get to keep a Solitude up, so, like, even if they have a haster, there's just, like, no way it's gonna matter. Okay, so I get to attack Pi, Karn. And then with my Philia trigger, I bounce my Jailer. Yes, I agree to pay this so that I give my Dowerport Mage enough power to kill the Karn. Oh yeah, I forgot I draw a card when when the Jailer lose play too. And okay, this gives me a Parting Gust to play around with too after this. I might be able to fight through this. I might be fighting through this One Ring. Just, like, a lot of pressure. The Guide of Souls is really relevant here too, because, like, now my opponent needs really specific creatures or answers to deal with what I have going on. Since they're, like, a bigger Neoform artifact deck, I assume that they don't have any Wrath effects. And because they were so stunted on growth earlier, because of their Mulligan to 4, they, like, even though they have the One Ring and they have 8 cards in hand, they just, like, can't cast anything. So yeah, we actually took that game down, which is pretty cool. Pretty interesting. I thought when they played the One Ring that we were definitely not the favorite anymore, but I think the stunted growth from the Mulligan to 4 was just enough to, like, keep our opponent on the back foot here. Let's see. Super powerful at that point. Great Mulligan to 4, though. Yeah, that was a really great Mulligan to 4. It was really cool to see their deck operate on like such a such a good axis. I just realized I kept a hand without black because I was talking, but that's fine. If we draw the black land, we're okay. If we don't, we might just lose this Tameo. I definitely would have mulliganed this if I had realized I didn't have black in my hand, but okay, so we didn't get always lucky and draw the black land. There is consideration to griefing them right now. I think because they have Tameo in play, that play is a little less strong. I think I'm just going to play this Hollowed Fountain tapped and just pass the turn and just hope that I draw black land. If I draw black land, then I can Fatal Push their Tameo, or I can decide to just Gas Style Raider them if I feel like that's a little more powerful. Urza Saga, really good. I love Urza Saga in these decks. Like, just making like 5/5 and 6/6 constructs is so powerful. Really hard to deal with in this format if you're not playing like Wrath of the Skies or those cards of that nature. Okay, drawing a Thoughtseize is pretty bad. We do have to play our Mox Sapphire here because we want access to Force Negation. The question is, do I want to grief them? I think they're most likely to just draw a card off this clue, and then the next turn it's probably better to grief them, because if they have something that they want to play on my turn, or choose between playing that and playing Saga, then it's a little better. Also, it's possible that the only way that we win this game is if we draw either Black Source to kill the Tameo, or we draw... I mean, I could draw another land and actually like grief plus Resto Angel the grief, and then I have a ton of board presence. The dream here is they draw a card off the clue, untap, play land, and like play a higher costed non-creature spell. Something like a Grim Monolith or a Basalt Monolith. I don't know if they're playing those cards, but they might be. I guess I could look, but at this stage I'm just gonna jam. Like, I think knowing exactly what's in your opponent's deck is definitely an advantage, but I mean, at the end of the day, like, that isn't the situation we're in most of the time. So I'm just gonna play. I took a quick brief overview of their deck earlier, and that's all I really need. Interesting, I feel like they're deciding what they want to do here, whether or not they want to crack a clue or play something else. At minimum, you have to crack this clue. Yeah, makes sense. All right, so land or black mana source off the top helps me out greatly here. Actually, black mana source, I might still grief resto them and then like Fatal Push the Tameo later, since they don't have another clue in the chamber to flip the Tameo. Plus, even if they flip the Tameo, grief plus Resto Angel actually I think is like pretty reasonable response to it. So it looks like they're just planning on making a Saga token, so I really hope I draw the fourth land here. Lord of the Mistmore is not exactly where you want to be. So I still don't think I can grief them. They're gonna make a construct. The construct is gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 if they make another construct on their upkeep. So I think I need, like, Overlord's not gonna be that good this game. I mean, Thoughtseize is not gonna be that good. Like, I know what I'm getting rid of with grief, but I still don't think I can I can do this grief without this Restoration Angel. I think I really need the extra body in play. Here's the Saga. Yep. Yeah, my guess is that they draw activate Saga. Might as well just make your construct. Like, because I have to deal with what's on their board now, and I have to deal with the 7 cards in their hand before I could even dream about winning this game. So if they get like Shadow Sphere, I think I might be in a lot of trouble. Oh, Lava Super Boots is good too. Really shortens the clock here. Okay, I'm trying to think of like what my best draw is, like if there's actually a good way out of this game. I guess I could draw like, I don't have cards that let me draw multiple cards. Let's start with this Helpful Hunter. I guess this is a blocker, which is potentially pretty good. Drawing the Spirited Companion there, though, not good enough. I might as well grief my opponent. I'm gonna lose next turn, but I'm just gonna take a look and see what they had in their hand. Maybe it gives me like some context. Okay, that's right. They're playing Neoform. I have to remember that. Dixon Engineer, Emery. Okay. Yeah, I'll just give them the concession here. Yeah, unfortunately, I kept that hand without looking to see if there was block in it. Very unfortunate keep from my perspective. Sometimes you misplay. It happens. Um, yeah, this hand is good. Just a bunch of draw guys and a removal spell. The subtlety's pretty reasonable. I'm on the play. Baleful Strix is probably one of my better cards in this matchup, so I just need to find the land to be able to cast that. But yeah, having early subtlety is nice too, because if they play like a faster game, I can just subtlety and then like play the draw creatures and hope that they get me there. Let's play Misty. Ornithopter. I don't really care about Ornithopter that much. Okay, let's crack this Misty. So I think I'm supposed to get Rafine's Tower here. I could get Undercity Sewers to try and look for another land for Baleful Strix, but getting Rafine's Tower opens up Parting Gust to me, which I think is just powerful enough. Plus it still gives me the draws to draw the lands that matter for the Strix. Okay, so let's play this Plains, and then we'll play the Helpful Hunter. I guess is a little better than Spirited Companion because this dies to enchantment removal. I don't know how much it matters. Drawing Odawara was pretty good there. Because then next turn I get to play Baleful Strix if I want it. And again, I think Strix seems pretty reasonable in this matchup. Do I want to subtlety this Arcbound Ravager? I don't think I need to. I think Baleful Strix is going to be sufficient enough. Plus I have this Parting Gust as well, which can reset the Ravager depending on how big it gets. Oh, drawing Cloud Shift is pretty good there. Because now if they go to kill my Baleful Strix, I actually have a response to keep it alive and keep it alive for free. Like, I don't have to lose a card in the process. I also have, if they play something really, really good that I feel like I absolutely need to subtlety, I can subtlety, or I can Cloud Shift like my helpful Hunter, try to draw a blue card, and then try to subtlety it. Okay, what does this do? Vigilance, put a 1/1 counter on each artifact, creature, and or vehicle you control. Remove 2 1/1 counters from among artifacts you control, draw a card. Okay, so I can just exile that and give them a fish. So I don't think I need to Cloud Shift to try and find something for subtlety. I think next turn I can just play Igonjo, Parting Gust the Physic, and then either play Spirited Companion or keep up Cloud Shift for Baleful Strix. Because I don't care if they have a fish. The fish like doesn't really matter to me. And they could sack this to get a counter on Ravager, but I don't think that really matters either. Okay, drawing Ephemerate is pretty interesting here. It is a little better than Cloud Shift because I do actually kind of want to start drawing a little more cards. I do have to Parting Gust this, so I'm gonna play this Igonjo so that I can keep up Ephemerate and Cloud Shift. I'm gonna keep them up over playing Spirited Companion, I think. Choose an opponent. The fish isn't irrelevant, like it's gonna get to attack for free, but that's fine. I'll just take my 1 lumps. Oh, they didn't want the fish. They prefer the 1/1 counter on the Ravager. I think that's fair enough. Still just gonna chill here. If they do nothing, there is temptation to just Ephemerate the Helpful Hunter on end step. To try and draw a couple cards and like get deeper into the deck, find an engine or find some inevitability or like a removal spells for the Ravager, etc. I think Psy is compelling enough that I'm going to cast Ephemerate on the Helpful Hunter here, because I probably will Subtlety the Psy if I draw a blue card, depending on what that blue card is. Okay, so I didn't draw blue cards, so this, the Psy is just going to resolve. Yeah, I really would like to get a removal spell for this Psy going. The Arcbound Ravager isn't really that threatening, but the Psy definitely is. So let's see what we can do here. We're going to get the rebound on Ephemerate. We'll just Ephemerate this Helpful Hunter. Okay, we drew a Fatal Push, and since the Helpful Hunter left the battlefield this turn, the Fatal Push is good. Touch the Spirit Realm is also pretty reasonable. I get to play Island, Fatal Push the Psy, and then hold up Subtlety, which I think is a pretty decent sequence. I get to hold up Subtlety and touch plus Cloud Shift, so I can just filter through my deck if I want. So yeah, let's kill the Psy. And then I think keeping Subtlety and Touch and Cloud Shift up is better than playing Spirited Companion. I already have, like, the argument for playing Spirited Companion is I do dig a little deeper into my deck, but I think getting the Subtlety going and starting to attack in the air is going to be relatively lucrative. Plus, keeping up Cloud Shift and Touch the Spirit Realm means that, like, when things like this Portable Hole happen, I just get to Cloud Shift my Baleful Strix, and now this is just like a huge blowout, right? Plus, since I'm keeping up Touch and Subtlety, I get to really make sure I don't get blown out by like second piece or a removal spell. Soul Guide Lantern. I don't think I really care about that. Getting rid of Ephemerate makes a lot of sense. Sojourner's Companion. I think I'm just gonna cast Touch the Spirit Realm on my next turn on the Companion. I really don't want them to be able to Neoform or Eldritch Evolution this, because that's actually a way that I can lose this game. But Subtlety doesn't really help prevent that. Like, I Subtlety it, and then next turn they get to play it for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 for 1 mana. So I think I just have to wait, and then I'll just, like, Oblivion Ring this with my Touch the Spirit Realm. They get another counter on the Ravager, but the Ravager counters at this stage, like, don't really matter as much, because they can move them to the Ornithopter, but then they're, like, all in on the Ornithopter, and I have so many ways to flicker creatures, bounce them, etc. Okay, I'm really happy with this attack here, because I really want to trade my Baleful Strix for this Arcbound Ravager. If they put the counters on their Sojourner's Companion, then I just get to kill it for free with Touch the Spirit Realm. If they put them on the Ornithopter, then I can Spellseeker for a removal spell post Touch the Spirit Realm on the Companion. Like, I'll take a couple of lumps in the middle of that sequence, but that's fine. And I still have Subtlety up throughout this, like, whole interaction. And even better, I drew Snapcaster, so I could Snapcaster. Yeah, I can Snapcaster Fatal Push the Ornithopter after I touch the Spirit Realm and Spirited Companion. I guess I could Boggart Trawler, touch the Spirit Realm, the Sojourner's Companion, and then Snapcaster the Fatal Push. I guess they have a Soul Guide Lantern, so the Snapcaster is actually a little weaker. So maybe I'm supposed to touch the Spirit Realm, the Sojourner's Companion, and then just cast the Spellseeker this turn. Taking 3 off the Boggart Trawler, taking another 3 from the Ornithopter, but then getting whatever the best Spellseeker target in my deck is right now. I could also just play Spirited Companion and play tapped Boggart Trawler, and then Subtlety whatever it is they end up playing, and then next turn play Spellseeker. Maybe that's better. That gives me a little more information on what I have in hand, what my opponent's doing, what I actually need to pick up with the Spellseeker. I guess I drew Meticulous Archive, so I'm just going to play that one instead of the Boggart Trawler. Get rid of the Seachrome Coast. We don't need you where we're going. Excuse me. I guess theoretically I would like them not to play something that I need to subtlety, because I would like to go to a game where I actually get to cast the subtlety from my hand. Looks like they're drawing a card. That's really good for me. If they don't play anything here, I think I'm in a pretty good position. Okay, yeah, so now I get to play Boggart Trawler if I don't draw land. So I can play Boggart Trawler, take 3. Then on their turn, I can like take another 3 from the Ornithopter, and then Snapcaster, Fatal Push, whatever their best creature is, and Subtlety anything else. I have Spectral Restitching in my hand, so like after I Snapcaster, I can like play Spellseeker, hold up Spectral Restitching, and then target all 4 of my guys if I draw another land. Yeah, let's play this Boggart Trawler. We'll take our 3, and then we're gonna attack for 2. Okay. I like checking the chat when I'm playing with Discord users just to see if they like, want to talk or whatever. I'm also taking up a lot more time than my opponent, unfortunately. It's just the nature of playing a deck with a lot of complex lines. I mean, like, I guess I don't want to Snapcaster Fatal Push this Ornithopter, because if they do play something that is actually worth like completely getting rid of, then my Spectral Restitching just resets the Ornithopter. So I am just going to take 3 here, because I can get rid of whatever they play with Push or Parting Gust. I guess it depends on like what it is they play. Excuse me. The One Ring. Okay. This is a non-land, non-token creature. Okay, so I have no way of actually interacting with this One Ring. So that is... I guess I can exile the artifact with Touch the Spirit Realm, and then after Spectral Restitching, and then kill the One Ring, and then Snapcaster Parting Gust to Sojourner's Companion to make sure I don't get Neoformed. That's not the worst. So then, if that's the case, do I want to Snapcaster before casting Spectral Restitching? I guess I want to restitch the Ornithopter, the Helpful Hunter, the Spirit Companion, and the Touch the Spirit Realm, which means that if I'm doing that, then I need to pay 4 mana for it. I could also pay 3 mana for it and just play Snapcaster for Fatal Push on the Ornith. No, that doesn't matter. Okay, yeah, so I'm not going to Snapcaster in response. I guess we'll see what they play, too. Oh, this is artifacts and creatures, so I can't actually bounce the Touch the Spirit Realm. I think that is maybe relevant enough that I do want to Snapcaster my Cloud Shift, and then I can if I Snapcaster Cloud Shift, I can then Spectral Restitching, but then I don't get to actually cast anything off the Snapcaster. If I had played Spellseeker, I would have had a better turn here where I get to like Spectral Restitching. Next turn I can Spellseeker for a way to remove the One Ring, so I don't think I'm in that much trouble. I think I am just going to cast Spectral Restitching for 3 here. Target this. I could also... Okay, hold on. I know I'm taking forever, but I could also just like Snapcaster Cloud Shift or Snapcaster Fatal Push. Then I could play Spellseeker, get Consigned to Memory, and then Spectral Restitching all of my opponent's artifacts and creatures the following turn, and then consign the return triggers so that they don't come back. I think I'm actually going to do that. I think that's better. So I'm not going to cast Spectral Restitching here, which means I am going to cast Snapcaster Mage and just kill this Ornithopter. Just get ahead of it. Just another thing I don't have to worry about. Okay. I could also Cloud Shift so I can draw extra lands, but I think I just want to kill the Ornithopter. Yep. I would like to cast this Fatal Push. Targeting Ornithopter. Let's get rid of this Get it out of here. The Ornithopter is not long for this world. Let's, I guess I could hold Subtlety in my hand just to make sure. But I don't know if I'm going to draw a blue card, because I'm going to play Spellseeker, get Consign, and then I'm going to Spectral Restitching all of their stuff on my next turn. So I think I'm just going to play the Subtlety here. I don't get to attack with it, but this is like the only time I can see potentially using this mana. And I think if I do get to exile their 3 of their lands and their One Ring, and have it not return, then I'm pretty sure I'm likely to win this game. I guess this is all dependent on whether or not you actually can do that with Consign to Memory. I'm not sure. I haven't done it yet, but I did theorize that that is how it should work, right? Right? So let's get Consign here. I could Spectral like their One Ring and a land, but I kind of want to blow them out for the full thing, because like even if they draw the cards off the One Ring, if I'm killing 3 of their lands and a ring, they max have 3 lands plus like some other stuff in play. I can Mockingbird this Spellseeker, which I think I am gonna do. Oh, they're exiling my Spellseeker. Very fair. So I guess I just copy a draw creature. I could copy Cloud Shift. That's the same, though. I guess I could copy Snapcaster to cast Cloud Shift, but then I don't get to hold up Consign for, like, worst-case scenario. Bowmasters is a pretty reasonable here, too. If all else fails, I have Bowmasters to, like, sort of semi-counter their One Ring. I guess the dream here is that they play another artifact land and like one creature that I get to get rid of with my Spectral Restitching. Okay, Tough Cookie's pretty cool. I think this card is sick. They're going to take 2 and make a 4/4, and then I'll just chump block. Yeah. Let's chump with the Mockingbird, I guess. I don't know if I have... Oh, I guess I do have ways to get creatures back with the Overlord. Okay, so now I need to do some counting here. So I draw a card, it's Quantum Riddler. Okay, so 1, 2, 3 artifact lands and the One Ring that I want to get rid of. So that's 4 mana, so 5 mana for the Spectral Restitching. So I can get rid of one more thing, which will be the Tough Cookie. So let's do that then. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They keep a food token, a Phyrexian Walker. Currently 5. Yeah. Let's get in there. I could leave a blocker behind to try and block a haster, but they don't have any red mana, so I don't actually know if they can have a haste creature. Okay, so now let's counter this return trigger. I'm so stoked that I actually got to do this to someone. That's so wild. Wow. The Wombo combo. I had dreams of the Spectral Restitching with the Consign to Memory when I built this deck, but I could not have imagined that it would be that good. That was oh gosh, very sick. We're gonna lead with Tide Hollow Sculler here, getting perfect information, and then just try to close the game out before this Retrofitter Foundry gets out of hand. I mean, like, they don't really have mana, so I like don't really see the Foundry. They were gonna cast Atraxa. Okay, I guess I'll take the Atraxa. I guess taking Lotus Petal was probably better there, but like, you know, it doesn't really matter. Like, I'm gonna win the turn in the next two combats, I think. Pretty happy to trade with the Servo here. They just don't get to move up their Sacred Foundry. I guess I could like Bowmasters their Servo before blocks, actually. I think that's better. Let's just do that. Then I have no cards in hand. I can Riddler. Like, they don't get to draw extra cards this game now either because I have Bowmasters. They block here, take 5. They're dead next turn. Let's play the Riddler, warp it. Draw 2. And we have a Solitude for insurance purposes. Yeah. Those are really close games. I really like my opponent's deck. Longtime viewers of the channel will know I've actually been pretty stoked on artifacts. I think there's definitely potential there. Maybe I got punished by not taking this Lotus Petal based on what they drew. Oh, Eldritch Evo. Oh, I actually am getting punished, sort of. I could have responded to the Lotus Petal, I guess, but I don't think that really matters. I'd be really surprised if they have a 2-drop or less that deals with everything that's in play. Getting the Mem Knight. I like my opponent's vibe. I think that's pretty hilarious. GG's. Awesome. Well, thanks for tuning in. I believe that I would have made this video with both matches. I initially didn't think I was going to, but we figured out that if I won this match, which I did, then Liam and I get to play in the quote-unquote finals of our bracket for LJT MTG Dominance. So if you want to see that, make sure that you are subscribed to the channel or you have notifications on or whatever, because we will be releasing it where Liam and I play Esper Blink versus his really cool brew of spy, like landless spy. So if you like the content that we're bringing to the table, feel free to like the video, and I would love to talk in the chat. There were so many lines that I could have taken that I didn't take. Like, the deck list will be in the description, but if you have any ideas as to what I should have played in those games, or like if you had any like maybe like serious misplays that you saw beyond me just keeping a hand with no black mana sources, then you know, toss them down in the comments below. We love interacting with everyone on the channel. It's really fun. So but I'm really looking forward to seeing whether or not I can take it home against Liam. I don't know. I'm playing a lot of random discards, so we'll see. But part of my deck is quite a lot slower, so I don't know if combo is necessarily my best matchup. But I guess we'll have to find out, and we'll see you soon.